Ian Martin Ellison, the guy from Scott's Bass Lesson, has worked together with Walrus Audio to create a high-end bass preamp for bass players who play bass. The Mantle. Let's take it for a ride. Hi and welcome to Bass the World. My name is Gregor Fries and on bass we have the wonderful Kai Lemke today, playing a bunch of my basses but mostly the visual deal, Bass the World bass. The Walrus Mantle is an analog preamp NDI. On the outside, it's as basic as it gets. Input, output for an amp, DI out, a hungry 9-volt in that wants 500 milliamps, and these 3 controls. No switch, no button except for the active passive and the ground lift for the XLR out, of course. On this little sheet here, Ian says he owns over 50 different preamps and DIs. And they're all great for specific things, but they all lack something. That's why he dreamed of this. It's a super simple design, absolute idiot-proof. There's not even an on-off switch. You can't use this wrong. So all we have are these 3 controls. Bass on the left, gain in the middle, treble on the right. When you start out, you set everything to 12 o'clock and start exploring from there. Turn the gain up for more grit and volume, turn it down to make your bass sound thinner. Bass to the left to clear up your tone, to the right to make it big, and of course treble to give you more or less clarity. We made a little direct comparison so you get an idea about the range this pedal has. When I sit in front of my amp or my speakers and I play around with this pedal, I gotta say, I don't love the EQ. These are not the frequencies that make my bass shine. But once you let the music play and start playing along, these immediately start making sense. They might not be what I want, but apparently they are what I need. All 3 controls are stepped and go up to 11. Of course they do. This is typical for professional studio gear, not the 11 thing, but a step controller so you can replicate each setting easily later. If you've ever found that one perfect sound and then you tried something else and then never found that one perfect sound again, that's because your controls aren't stepped. But back to EQ, if you ever get to record with this pedal, you're in for a treat. This is such a pleasure to work with, it's so nicely done. You can set the bottom end and how much you cut through the mix while you're recording. And when the mixing guys gets these recordings later, if you can play, there's nothing really to do. The way this EQ works is interesting. It behaves differently depending on each individual setting. When you boost basses or highs, it starts out as a shelf EQ, which is gradually turning into a bell curve, which is more musical sounding. When you cut basses, you engage a high-pass filter at 30 Hz, 50 Hz, 100 Hz or 120 Hz. When you cut highs, you introduce a minus 18 dB low-pass filter at 8, 6, 4, 2 or even 1 kHz for the darkest of sounds. This goes way beyond that what we know to be a normal EQ. On the other hand, this pedal kinda sounds like nothing. Not like nothing else, more like nothing's even there. We used no EQ in the sound samples, only a tiny little bit of compression parallel here and there, but you wouldn't be able to detect that. What you hear in this video is what this pedal sounds like, so what does it sound like? Well, that's not so easy to explain, but for all the pros out there, this is halfway between a 1073 and an API. More details. Okay, it's warmer than an API, but definitely more direct than a 1073. For all the non-pros, this pedal is designed to send a direct signal to the interface or the front of house. It will sound like your bass does. This is designed not to add any character, but to send the best version of your direct tone. Most studio gear is designed that way. These are devices that are equipped with input and output transformers that tend to make them sound bigger and better, somehow more natural. A studio guy that I respect a lot always says that they add weight to the sound, and that is what is also happening here. So what is this preamp good for? The simplest answer would probably be bass players. When you're working as a professional bass player or you're super enthusiastic about your hobby, these are the kind of devices that can get your bass tone to the next level. Will it magically fix everything that's wrong with your bass tone? Yes. No, it can't do that. This is more for those who went to a studio, experienced the greatness of amazing mic preamps, and now constantly think about how to get this kind of feeling into your standard just setup. You can compare this to the Noble DI or the Caveman or the BAE 1073 or the Ready Tube DI that I use. It lives on that same level, but it's different and by no means the best or anything. Simply because on this level there's no better or worse anymore, just different flavors to pick from. Let's hear one more sound, this time with a bass that has some highs. Yes, that's the Harley Benton BassTheWorld bass, and yes, it's coming out soon. Stop asking. It's 1 more month. The only thing I don't love about this pedal is the coating. It attracts fingerprints and it won't let them go. To achieve a consistent look, I recommend to touch the whole thing, every little square inch with your dirty, greasy fingers, you little pervert. Just kidding, I don't care about that at all. This is an excellent pedal and it will make its way onto bass players' boards. I'm sure about that. It is insanely expensive though. This is no pedal money anymore, this is studio gear money. But from this perspective, honestly, this is a hell of a deal. Preamps of this caliber rarely cost less than $1,000 and they sure as hell don't have an EQ. So if you want one, check the links in the video description below. We're working with a bunch of Walrus dealers, and if you order this or anything else through these links, they will now resend you and pay us a little kickback, which is the easiest way to support the channel if you decide to do that. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Mantle from Walrus Auto, and thanks for watching and bye. BassTheWorld.